Good evening and welcome to the news at 10. The Cabinet endorsed a draft law regulating the general state budget and the budgets of independent government entities. The bill is to regulate the management of public funds in the kingdom and define the responsibilities and roles of official bodies in the budget management process. It also lays down the ground rules for drafting and controlling the general budget, while taking into consideration the overall structure of the national economy to enhance financial stability and efficiently provide quality government service. The budget regulating bill also seeks to achieve the highest standards of transparency and clarity within best international practices as an advanced fiscal and structural reform of the Treasury. The weekly cabinet meeting, chaired by Prime Minister Hani Molqi, also approved other decisions, including the exchange of memos for a $12.6 million grant to the kingdom by the Japanese International Cooperation Agency, GICA. Sudan State Minister for Investment Usama Faisal announced that his country will allocate a 40,000-acre plot of land to set up a Jordanian industrial zone in the country. Speaking on the sidelines of the Sudanese-Jordanian Business Forum in Khartoum, the minister said final details of the Jordanian industrial area in Sudan will be declared soon. The forum brought together business people and representatives of trade and industry chambers in the two countries. The minister briefed the Jordanian business community about the investment opportunities in Sudan and the incentives it offers. The Syrian army shelled areas of the Syrian capital where rebels are holed up. Rebels said the Syrian army stepped up shelling and airstrikes on the last rebel-held enclaves in the Syrian capital. Videos showed what were said to be a Syrian government fighter jet and plumes of smoke rising from airstrikes in rebel-held areas in Jubar and Ain Terma in eastern Damascus. The army's offensive was in breach of a Russian-sponsored ceasefire announced 2 weeks ago in the eastern Ghouta area to the east of Damascus. 4 Egyptian policemen were killed when gunmen fired at a patrol car in the northern Sinai city of Al Arish. Military source said authorities in Al Arish were on the hunt for the attackers. No group has claimed responsibility for the attack. North Korea said it is carefully examining a plan for a missile strike on the U.S. Pacific territory of Guam. The threat follows U.S. President Donald Trump's comments that any North Korean threat to the United States will be met with fire and fury. U.S. Secretary of State Rex Tillerson said he does not believe there is an imminent threat from North Korea. Tillerson said he hoped international pressure, including engagement of China and Russia, can persuade North Korea to reconsider its nuclear ambitions and begin diplomatic dialogue. Trump's comments raised doubt among U.S. allies. This report has more.
Asia waking up to a spike in tension between the U.S. and North Korea Wednesday, just hours after Donald Trump warned of fire and fury for Pyongyang, and the North shot back threatening a missile strike on Guam. But Guam's governor, Eddie Calvo, is brushing off the threat from Kim Jong-un, saying he'd been in touch with the White House and that talk of revenge by North Korea is no threat to the U.S. territory.
There is no change in the threat level resulting from North Korea events. There are several levels of defense, all strategically placed to protect our island and our nation.
One of those levels of defense, a THAAD missile defense battery, the same system recently deployed in South Korea to shoot down rockets in the event of a strike from the north. Meanwhile, U.S. ally Japan is backing up America's stance against the growing missile threat.
The United States has said all options are on the table when it comes to North Korea. The Japanese government supports this attitude.
A source in Tokyo also told Reuters Japan isn't asking Trump to tone down his remarks, because even though they're his strongest warning yet, they didn't actually outline any real U.S. plans. Fellow ally South Korea sidestepped talk of Trump and called out the North's threats instead.
These kinds of comments by Pyongyang are not helpful for the relationship between the North and South.
North Korea's threat against Guam has rattled global financial markets. The U.S. dollar slipped and stocks fell at the start of trade in Asia, while an index of market anxiety hit its highest in a month.
French Prime Minister Edouard Philippe confirmed that police has arrested the suspect behind an attack on French soldiers in a Paris suburb. A car rammed into a group of soldiers in a Parisian suburb, injuring 6 before speeding off and sparking a manhunt. A judicial source said it ended with the suspect's arrest on a motorway in northern France. FBI agents seized documents and other material from the Virginia home of Paul Manafort, President Donald Trump's former campaign manager, during a July raid. The move was part of a special counsel's probe into alleged Russian meddling in the 2016 U.S. presidential election. A spokesman for Manafort confirmed that the raid, first reported by Washington Post, had taken place. The Post reported that the pre-dawn raid was conducted at Manafort's home in the Washington suburb of Alexandria without advance warning, a day after Manafort had met with staff members of the Senate Intelligence Committee. And finally, it will continue to be hot for the rest of tonight, with 25 degrees in the capital. Temperatures will slightly drop tomorrow, but they will remain 3 to 4 degrees above seasonal average at this time of year, with northwesterly moderate winds. In the Gulf of Aqaba, a high of 43 degrees Celsius is forecast for tomorrow, with northerly moderate winds and calm seas. And with that, we come to the end of tonight's news. I'm Lou Balkar. Thank you for watching, and I'll see you tomorrow.